Thank you very much, Bronwyn, for agreeing to have a chat about a video we made for you a whopping 8 years ago. I realized that's one of the very first videos we've ever made. So it looks a little bit rough around the edges compared to the things we do these days, but I think it's a very nice video I'm still proud of. And it's great to see that it's still on your lab homepage. So how about we watch it together and see what we think about it 8 years later?
Yeah, sounds great, Tullio. It might even prompt me to start promoting it a bit more.
Here we have three scientists, an archaeologist, a terrestrial ecologist, and a marine ecologist. They are on a quest to understand the present by reconstructing the past. However, their venture is very difficult because the past is past. It is gone, and we have no such thing as time travel. But this doesn't mean that our scientists are getting discouraged. They are resourceful folks with a few tricks up their sleeve. Take the archaeologist. To understand ancient human civilizations, the archaeologist goes on the hunt for human bones and relics. A bit like Indiana Jones, but without guns and whips. Now take the terrestrial ecologist. To understand the history of forests, she looks at the growth rings of trees. As trees grow, they form new layers of wood that can be seen as annual rings. These can be used to figure out how old a certain tree is. But it is not just information about the age of trees, because plenty of other things like bushfires and droughts leave marks in the rings which can be reconstructed. However, when it comes to the marine ecologist, what tools do we have to reconstruct the past? Fish don't grow in rings. If we cut up a fish, all we get is sashimi. For this reason, the marine ecologist had to come up with an even more ingenious idea. Upon careful inspection of the body of fish, the marine ecologist discovered that even fish grow in rings. Well, not quite in the same way. It is their ear bones that grow in rings. You may not have seen a fish ear bone because they are quite small and fragile. However, when you put fish ear bones in the hands of a marine ecologist, a whole wealth of information can be revealed. First, you need to know that each species of fish has ear bones shaped in a unique way. So ear bones can be used to identify species. You can use this information to determine what fish, birds, or seals, for example, have been eating. But this is just scratching the surface. Because by using some high-tech instruments like lasers and even synchrotrons, yeah, I said synchrotrons, marine ecologists can almost travel in time. Trace elements and stable isotopes can be measured and used to answer some very important ecological questions. For example, fish ear bones can help us understand the structure of fish populations, their migrations, and even characteristics of the environment where they lived and how that has changed. Isn't this incredible? All this from a teeny tiny ear bone that you probably didn't even know existed. Do you want to make your own amazing discoveries in marine ecology? Visit the Gillanders Aquatic Ecology Lab website for more information about our research and opportunities to study with us. We've got lasers.
I love the "we got lasers." I forgot about that closing line.
I actually forgot about the fact that we had focused on an archaeologist, a terrestrial ecologist, and a marine ecologist. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it was fun to watch it again. It's been 8 years, so long time. And yeah, I have to say, I'm proud of the work we did in the very beginning of our journey. It's a fun, light-hearted video that I think is perfect for somebody that has no clue that fish ear bones can tell us such information. I'm curious, Bronwyn, what initially made you want to make this video? Yeah, in the first place, what drove you to this decision?
Probably partly around being able to communicate some of what we do to a much broader audience and making sure that people could visualize it because I think we often read lots of text, but you still don't get a good picture. And so by having the video, you actually can visualize like the different parts and what the air bones look like and that side of things. So yeah, pretty much that was the reason.
That's right. With video, we can play with two channels, the visual and the auditory, and topic like yours, which can be technical. Through the video, it doesn't feel technical, but if you go read the research paper about it, it is extremely technical. Yeah, the video definitely helps make it way, way more approachable. And so I noticed that one of the places where you use the video the most is on your lab website. What made you decide to put it there and for what purpose?
I think the lab website was a good place to make sure that it was somewhere visible all the time and anybody could potentially come and find it. I guess it's partly about promoting our research and those sorts of work we do. I'm starting to think that perhaps I should revisit exactly where it goes and perhaps promote it a bit more, like we mentioned, and LinkedIn and some of those other things. Maybe it's a good place to put out there. But also with the new course development around Adelaide University, there could also be an opportunity there to incorporate it into one of the courses such that it's something that students, undergraduate students, can see that might attract them into some of the research that we do in the labs, because we're always looking for undergraduate internships, honours students, PhD students.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic tool to attract students. Imagine if I put myself in the shoes of an undergraduate student trying to decide where to do their honors project or PhD. I see 10 different lab websites, and then there's this one with a nice animation that actually can understand and communicates the message so clearly. That lab scores lots of points from my student point of view. So I think it's extremely useful and a good use case to put it on the lab
Yeah,
website to attract students.
absolutely.
And it could be even be helpful for funding agencies if you're reviewing somebody's grant and you wonder what this person does, and you go on their website and you find
Yeah.
that little explainer. That's a lot. It's a much nicer user experience compared to reading pages and lists of papers and the usual things.
And it can be quite complicated talking about like air bones and otoliths and the chemistry of them. And so this kind of portrays it in a nice way.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's wrap things up. Would you recommend a video of this kind to other researchers, lab heads like you?
Absolutely. So I'm even starting to think about what I could do for another one, like to update it or to have it on a slightly different topic or something like that. So we'll have to keep chatting, Tullio.
Sounds good. Happy to do that anytime. All right, Bronwyn, thank you for your time. I know you're a very busy person, so I really appreciate dedicating a few minutes for this conversation. And that is it for today. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Tullio. It was actually quite fun watching it.